Kristen Green. Good evening.
So I'm going to recap the beginning from the last time I was here, since it's been 2 months. I had a handout for the teacher to pass out, which asked parents if they would like to join a parent email list for the classroom. I received the handouts filled out by parents within a couple of days from my child's public charter school. The other child attends a public district school. For that school, I waited a week and was informed that the handout couldn't be passed out to the parents. This, of course, was after the principal had to ask an associate superintendent and the legal department from the Board of Ed. I was going through a list of experiences, and I'll continue where I left off, and now that I have more time, I'll add some on. I had asked our PTA president if there were bylaws I could read. This was a few years ago. And if there was a treasurer's report. Months went by, and as I asked more questions, I simply got more excuses as to why I couldn't see these things. I finally started investigating it. I discovered that the PS3 PTA had raised over $14,000, but it wasn't in a PTA bank account. When questioned, there weren't receipts for half the monies collected. Now, while PS3 wasn't responsible for this mess, I was disappointed in how it was handled. The principal was mostly concerned with keeping the issue quiet, and because of this, things dragged on for the entire school year. It brought down the school spirit and made the year miserable. While I was concerned with retrieving the funds for the children of PS3, others preferred to make up a treasurer's report, make it up, justifying where the funds were spent, even though there weren't receipts to back up the expenditures. I'll move on to the Board of Ed website. I noticed several years back that the website wasn't very user-friendly and failed to answer some basic questions parents were asking on a regular basis on the message boards. While I suggested that certain items could exist on the website, I was informed that a parent could call if they needed that information. My thought on this was that one should make it simple for parents to get the information they need. When a parent returns from work at 7 p.m., employees at 346 Claremont are long gone and can't answer those questions. So I took the time to draw up several Photoshop files, highlighting ways to improve the site. I sent these to Dr. Epps via email, and it took a while, but he finally directed me to a lady working on the website. I felt it would be simpler to meet in person, however I was informed that she couldn't. She had been instructed not to. Yet another roadblock in building a link to parents that want help. Moving on to recess. When I realized that some school kids weren't getting to go out during the day, I asked the board about recess. I could have just broached this topic with my particular school, but knowing that we have 29,000 students, I felt it was important to come to the board. Sterling Waterman, Gina Ho, and myself spent the rest of the year going to recess committee meetings. Then we spent the next year in recess committee meetings. Needless to say, it was a frustrating experience, and I still don't know what happened with all of that. So while the board stresses parent involvement, my reason for giving you insight into these experiences is so that you might understand that it can be difficult and frustrating. The culture does not lend itself to change. Recently, there was a report card night at PS22. After waiting outside in the hallway with a tired child for 30 minutes, I went home before I got to see the teacher. Later on, I emailed the principal and I suggested that you could simply have a sign-in sheet, people could sign up for times, and then you wouldn't have to wait in the hallway. But the response was simply that he hadn't had a problem with it in the past. Well, of course not. People wait in the hallway. It's just ludicrous, and it's really time for a change.
Lorenzo Richardson.